Hi all. Today in this session, we will check how we can copy the data using Azure Data Factories from Cosmo DB database to our Blob Storage. So for that, first of all, the first activity is if you don't have the resource group, we need to create a resource group. All the resources that we are using should be a part of the resource group. So to create a resource group, I need to search here the resource group. You can get it here, or you can search it resource group. Then you can click on create. Then select the appropriate subscription that you have. For me, it is free trial. And provide appropriate resource group name. Let me make it as RG demo data factory and choose the appropriate region. I'll be selecting as Central India. Yeah, so here is a Central India. Then if you want, you can create the tag for testing. For this, no need of creating the tag, but yeah, it is good practice to create the tag so that it is easy for us to identify which resource belong to which team. So yeah, then we can click on create. So now the resource group is created. My resource group name is RG demo or data factory. So under whatever the resources we will be creating, it should be under this resource group. So let's create a resource. For that, we need to first create Azure Data Factory. So for that, you can click on create. Then you can search here data factory. So you will see the data factory here. Click on create. Then provide an appropriate name. Let me provide it as demo ETL data factory and provide appropriate region also. For me, it will be Central India. So you need to provide appropriate name which is unique. So across on the Azure. So let me provide some unique name. Yeah. So now this text, let me click on review and let me click on next. So if you want to configure this data factory with Git, then you can do it. But yeah, for me, let me click on check this box, configure Git later. And yeah, we can make everything as default. Let me uh, enable managed virtual network on the default. Let me click on this and let me use public endpoint for the time being. Advanced part, as of now, let's keep it as default. Then no need of providing the tag for the time being. And then let's create. Let's click on create. So these all are the details that we have provided. Let's click on create. In the meantime, it will take some time to get created. You can see the pop-up here. It is deployment is in progress. In the meantime, we will be creating few more. Yeah, now it is successful. You can see the resource here. So the data factory resource is created. Now under the resource group, we will create few more resources. One is we will be we will be creating the Cosmo DB database. So for that, let's click on create, search for Cosmo DB. Azure Cosmo DB for MongoDB. So yeah, let me select this Azure Cosmo DB for MongoDB. Let's click on create. Let me use request unit database account. Let me click on this. Here you need to provide the appropriate subscription and the resource group, and you need to provide a account name. For me, let me provide it and the appropriate location. Let me select the location as Central India, and let me provide an appropriate account name. It should be unique. Yeah, so now this is a unique one. In the capacity mode, we can, let me select it as serverless for the timing. Let's click on next. Availability zone, we don't want it to be available in multiple regions. So let me disable it for the time being, as it is for the testing purpose, for a demo purpose. Networking, let's keep it as default. We need all the network to connect to this. So let me click, make it as default. Backup, let me make it as periodic. For the time being, let me make it as hours. So I anyway, I will be deleting it just after this particular demo. But yeah, let me make it as 24 hours. The backup retention will be 1 hour. Sorry, it will be 48 hours. I need to provide. And the storage, backup storage redundancy, let me select it as locally redundant backup storage, because this is comparatively the less cheaper one. And let me make this encryption as a default one. And let's click on review and create. So this will take some time to get it created. In the meantime, I will be creating a storage account as well, because I will be moving the data from Cosmo DB to storage account. Let me click on resource group, and under this resource group, let me click on create. Let me search for storage account. So you can see the storage account is here. It can be, let me click on create storage account. You need to choose the appropriate resource group and the subscription, then a appropriate storage account. Okay, so it only accepts lowercase and the number. It doesn't accept this hyphen. So let me remove this. And this name has already been taken by someone else. So it need to be unique. Yeah, so now this is unique. And let me select the region. It will be Central India. And performance, let me make it a standard. And the redundancy, let me choose the locally redundant storage. Let's click on advanced. Okay, so name must be from 3 to 24 character. Let me click on next. So let me keep these things as default. Let's go to networking. Enable public access for all network. Let me keep it as default. Data protection, let's not modify anything. Click on next. Encryption method, let it be the normal default one. Let's click on review. And the validation is done. Let's create it. So we have created the resource group, and we created the Cosmo DB. So you can see the Cosmo DB is created, and we are currently creating the storage account. So let me go to the Cosmo DB and let's create a record. So to create a record, let's go to Data Explorer under Cosmo DB. And we need to create a new collection collection here. So to create a new collection, let's click on new collection and provide an appropriate database name. Let me make it DB. Collection ID, let me make it as employee. Let's keep it as unthreaded for the time being. And let's click on OK. It will take some time to get the collection created. Let's wait for a few minutes. Yeah, so now we can see the database is created. Under that, the collection is also available, and we don't have any document under it. So what we can do, we can create a document. A document is basically a record in that we call it in table. We will be creating a document here. So let me click on new document here. And let me provide the ID as 1, 2, 3. And then let me provide name. And so let me save this. So now we can see the document is available here. So let me go to the document. So you can see the ID is this, name is this, and MongoDB itself creates one underscore ID, which uniquely identifies that particular record. So now the data is loaded into my Cosmo DB. Now let's go to, now let's check if the storage account is created. So the storage account is also ready. Now let's go to the resource group and go to Data Factory. This is my resource that I provision for Data Factory. Let's click on Launch Studio. Yeah. So now let's click on Author and let's create a new pipeline. For that, let's click on this pipeline 3 dots and click on New Pipeline and provide a name. Copy data from Cosmo to Blob. Yeah. Now let me pull the activity, copy data activity. Yeah. So before doing any further thing, the first activity is we need to create a link service. So for that, we need to go to Manage and then click on this link service. and click on this new, so that a new link service can be created. So I have two system. One is my source is the Cosmo DB, and the target as blob storage. So let me create it for the source first. Cosmo DB, let's search it, and here I will be getting Azure Cosmo DB for MongoDB. And here you can see, let me select the subscription free trial, and here it will show you for this particular subscription, if you have the proper access, what is the account number we have. This is the account name that we created, and what is the database. DB is the database. So we need to test the connection if it is successful or not. You can see the test connection is actually blurred. Here the test connection is button is there, but it is blurred, but it is showing currently enable interactive authorizing in your integration runtime for this. So for this, what we need to do is, this is our integration runtime. We can this is the Azure managed integration runtime, which is auto created. So we need to click on this edit button, go to virtual network, and enable this interactive authoring, and click on apply. So you can see it's currently enabling the interactive authoring. So once it is enabled, we will see the test connection enabled here, and we can test the connectivity if it is successful or not. Let's wait for a few minutes. So currently the interactive authoring is enabled. So now you can see the test connection is also, that button is enabled. Let's click on test connection. To check if the connection is successful or not. So now we can see the connection is successful. So let's create the linked service. So the name I have provided is Cosmo DB Mongo. So let's create it. And let's create a new linked service for blob storage. So for that, I will be selecting blob storage, provide appropriate name, and provide the appropriate subscription. Storage account that we created is already available here. We just need to select that. And then let's click on test connection, test the connectivity. Connection is successful. Let's create it. So now we have the source and the target link service created. Now we can create the data set. So for that, let's click on new data set. And here, let me first create for Cosmo DB. Click on continue. Provide the appropriate name. Let me make it as employee. The collection name is employee. So I'll be making the data set for employee. Let's make it employee. And you will be selecting the appropriate link service, Cosmo DB, MongoDB. And then the appropriate collection name. So employee. Let's click on OK. Now let's create another data set that will be for the target. Let's click on new data set. And here it will be blob storage. Now let's select JSON type data, because my Cosmo DB stores unstructured data. So my output from that Cosmo DB will also be a unstructured data. So I'll be selecting this JSON now. So output JSON will be my name. And if you click on link service, it will show all the JSON related blob storage related link service. So I have one, I'll be selecting that. And then what is the container? Container. Let me create a container. In the storage account. To create a container, I will be going to the storage account, and under this container, I will be clicking on plus container and provide a name like output. Let's click on create. So now if I click on browse, let me refresh it. So here we will be selecting the appropriate path, file path. So for that, let me click on browse. If you click on browse, it will show you the required containers that you have. Let's click on output. Let's click on OK. So the container has been selected. We don't have the directory. So let me provide JSON as a directory. And the file name will be employee.json. And here, as I don't have this output file, so if you the import schema, I should be selecting as none. Let's click on OK. So by now I have both my source and the target dataset created. Now let's create the pipeline, the copy data activity. So under this pipeline, I have already copied copy data activity. So let me provide appropriate name for this copy data activity. Copy data from Cosmo DB to Blob. Yeah. Now let's select the source. In this source, I can click on the source dataset I want. I want the employee data. So if I have not created this dataset earlier, I can just click on this plus. But for me, I already have created the dataset prior to creating the pipeline. So let's click on this employee. Let's keep the rest all things as intact. Let's click on preview data to see how the data looks. So this is the data that we have. We have this underscore ID, that is the key column. And then our data is ID, name, and country. So let's select the output. It is a sync dataset. The sync dataset is the output JSON. And here, let me select the copy behavior. Anything, let's make it as flattened hierarchy for the time being. And let's click on mapping, import schema. They import the schema, whatever is there from the source, and it will automatically map it to the target. So here you can see, this is my source collection related information, and this is my target data. So now my pipeline is ready. Let's click on validate to see if there is any error or not. So my pipeline is ready. So let's click on debug so that I can, instead of publishing it, I can directly run it and see the data. Let's click on debug. It will take few seconds to get it executed. Now you can see the data is in queued state. And now the activity is in progress. The status got changed. Let's click on refresh. And now the job is successful. So let's see how my output is. So you can see here the file written is 1. The rows read is 1. Rows copied is 1. So these all are the three details that there is one file that is written, that is a sync. And we have only one record from the source, which was read and it was copied. So let's click on this detailed button. So here you can see the data is getting moved from MongoDB to Blob Storage. Blob Storage in Central India. There is one record that is available, one document that is available in Cosmo DB. So rows read is one. So file written is one, and the rows written is also one. So here you can see in the details that how much time it took for the job to be in queue. It took around 1.1 minute 24 seconds. Then it got executed. Uh, how much time it took to read the data from source and write the data in sync, it is provided. It took few microseconds. So the total duration is around 4 seconds. So now let's see if the data is created in the blob storage or not. So let's go to the storage account. So now the output container is created, and under this output container, we have the JSON folder created, which was not created earlier. The data factory job created this particular folder, and this is the employee.json file that was created. Let's see the data, how the data is. So let's click on edit to see the data. So you can see this is the ID. This is the unique identifier, which uniquely identifies the record. This is the ID, name, and country, the same as what we had in the Cosmo DB. So this is how we can migrate the data from Cosmo DB to Blob Storage using Data Factory. So before doing any further, as this particular demo is over, so what we will do is we will be deleting this particular resource group so that all the associated resources can be deleted at the same time so that I don't get charged. So to do that, either I can click on individual stuffs, individual resources, and I can click and I can delete them. Or as I don't want all the resources to be used, I want all of them to be decommissioned. So I can delete this particular resource group. If I click on this delete resource group, all the resources that are aligned to this particular resource group will be deleted. So let's click on delete resource group. So here it says this is the resource group that we are trying to delete. This is the name of it. And these are the dependent resources that will be deleted. So let me confirm the resource group name and let me click on delete. You can see the notification. So the resource group deletion is in progress. It will take few minutes to complete this deletion process. So now we can see the resource group is deleted. We got a notification that the resource group is deleted. Let's go to home button and let's check if we have any resource group or not. So I don't have any resource group and its corresponding resources are also deleted. I hope this session is helpful. If it is informative, then please like and share the video and subscribe my channel. Thank you.